Seems like Battlefield 5 is closing in on every single day. We're getting closer to Battlefield 5 for PS5 and Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. Now, I'm Fatman. I'm gonna be discussing what we should be expecting from the new next-gen consoles, and be sure to subscribe for more Battlefield content. Seems like the reality where Battlefield 6 is far away is now getting slimmer and slimmer, as Battlefield 6, if you didn't know and watch my last video, was actually announced. Yes, it's coming in March to June, which I'm expecting to be coming out during the holidays, so that could mean, I don't know, April, it could mean early June, depends when people have the most holidays, right? So they can focus on Battlefield 6. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about what Battlefield 6 is actually going to feature. Going specifically to consoles, we might be seeing some pretty important stuff around here. Now that the consoles are out, and that's not just the PS4 that barely runs anymore and collects all the dust, now we have the strong PS5 coming out in a few days, which have the strong capabilities the computers have, or very strong high-end mid-tier PCs, I guess, somewhere around that, if you get me. But let's take a look at this. You have a very cheap PlayStation 5 with strong capabilities that has a lot of new features that can be actually added in the games. Before, you had to actually adjust, for example, older games. So for example, if you made Battlefield 1, it had to be 64 versus 64 players. Why is that? Well, because the PS4 would run 128 players, but it didn't run 64 versus 64, it ran 32 versus 32. But if it ran 128 players, for example, that just wouldn't work. Why is that? Because it would just end up lagging the machine, or there would be some other capabilities that wouldn't work. For example, not every tank rendering, or not every enemy showing up. But with the PS5, that just came out in 2020, that's actually, I don't know what is, like PS4 came out in like 2012 or something like that, I guess. It's damn fresh. It's very much new. It's like came out in 2013, so that's a 7-year upgrade. You can actually see and expect. And when they made console games and PC games all together, so they had to be some sort of a crossplay, or they were made for both generations, and for PC and for PS4, you were actually really limited because you wanted to adjust on how the game works. For example, Watch Dogs had amazing graphics for the PC, but they had to release it for a PS3 as well. So what they did is they downgraded graphics so it wouldn't look that bad on the PS3, which is very much a business decision from a standpoint. But now that we have a PS5 and Xbox Series X that they're coming exclusively for that, they're not coming for PS4, which we all expected, we have actually a lot of capabilities of what could happen. Now I'm going to be explaining in this video what actually potentially we could be seeing. So the first thing we could most likely be seeing is more vehicles. That's right, and instead of just 2 tanks, in this massive battles, we'll be seeing 4 tanks. And the next thing we're gonna be seeing, not just tanks, we're also gonna be seeing, a lot more fighter jets above you. Like if you're an infantry, just like here, with your squad, you'll be getting some pretty epic kills. I'm guessing, like, you're gonna start firing, you're gonna request an airstrike, you're gonna get an airstrike. That's gonna be pretty much awesome, and that's pretty much perfect. Like, that's what I want to see in Battlefield. This is gonna be a massive battle. Like, if you ever played squad, this is the closest I can basically say this as an example. Now this is definitely gonna be in the game almost 100%. If they don't add this, I'm gonna be completely surprised. But I'm definitely sure they're going to be adding a Battle Royale mode. That's right, a Battle Royale mode to actually combat Warzone. Now, Warzone has one simple problem. It's a great game, even if you don't like Call of Duty. There's a single problem a lot of people don't understand, and that is cheats and hackers. I know that's a problem in other games as well, but in Warzone, it's just such a big issue for a game that has millions and millions of active players all together, and they still haven't fixed that. A lot of people have stopped playing Warzone for that matter, while Battlefield 5, Battlefield 5 didn't have anti-cheat for that as well, but Battlefield 5's Firestorm had a lot of problems. It was good in, potential stuff. you know, it just didn't have enough players and it was too big of a map. It couldn't hold, and maybe you were walking alone for 15 minutes, and that sure as hell wasn't fun. Now, if they do that for Battlefield 6, they can make a Battle Royale free as well, just like Warzone has it. You can make it free and then have, you know, Battlefield 6 multiplayer and campaign, and you can pay for that. And I think that would definitely bring back the basics and core of the game along with some free content. Now, this is a new strategy that actually makes it a great thing. This could be, you know, a game where it's actually there for a few years and, you know, being constantly updated, or it could be another Battlefield 6 where it's updated for 2 years and then people move on to the next games. I'm definitely hoping it's gonna be the first thing, you know, where it actually has a 5v5 mode, because, you know, they promised us a 5v5 mode for Battlefield 5, but like many other things, because there wasn't enough players, it wasn't profitable, etc, there was no esports for Battlefield 5 or anything like that. And Battlefield 6 can actually change that. With the Battle Royale mode, we can actually see some of the cool stuff. We can see, like, you know, heavy helicopters. We already have vehicles. It's not gonna be hard. We're already gonna be seeing weapons. All we need is those 128 players on a single map. Just like Warzone, you know, you have a solo, duo, you know, 6 players. I think it would definitely be cool to, you know, see a bit faster pace, not as fast as Battlefield 5, but definitely something fast. I guess this is definitely most 100% possible because they've been teasing about this, and with upcoming months, we're gonna be seeing more of this for sure. Also, we're getting 6 new games next year from EA itself. So EA actually prepared 6 games for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. So the company confirmed during its last financial meeting that they have big plans for the financial year that will end in March 22. Electronic Arts presented its financial results for the last quarter on Thursday. The North American firm, which celebrates having 6.5 million members in the EA Play service, which joins Xbox Game Pass Ultimate this November, confirms that FIFA 20 is about to reach a whopping 35 million users, and that's a lot. They also have advanced their roadmap for the next fiscal year. So they actually confirmed 60 games from April 1st, 2021 to March 31, 2022. Okay, so listen carefully. The next fiscal year, which spans the period from April 1, so probably we're going to be gaining, you know, Battlefield 6 close to April, and, you know, the other games releasing shortly after. You know, one of the great games every 2 months. We're getting a single game, beginning with 6 new games. Returns, you know, large series and, you know, annual new games, I'm pretty sure. And Andrew Wilson, what he said is basically we'll have more details in spring, but no details have been yet released. So it's, you know, they're just keeping it safe for now. They don't want to actually release it just yet. But listen to this. From this point on, there is room for speculation. All in all, Electronic Arts has posted quarterly revenue 15% below the same period last year. So they had a net profit of $185 million. That's a lot of cash. The year-on-year drop is 88%. Okay, so regarding an eventual price increase for its games in the next gen is still something to be decided. They need to earn the money back. They're dropping, you know, 12% each year basically. And new Battlefield and Need for Speed is coming in fiscal year 2021 and 2022. You know, if there's something that actually emerged from the document that actually came out, is that they already confirmed new games in the Battlefield and Need for Speed saga, the first developed by DICE and the second by Criterion Games. DICE will actually return, you know, Battlefield 6 to its former glory. Those were the good days. You know, the new Battlefield will be a game on a scale never seen before, which we already saw it visually and technically, so it's gonna be, you know, something very, very big. And for the rest, fans hope without confirmations that the Mass Effect trilogy will be a reality sooner than later, and that we have a new Star Wars title on the way, and that the Dragon Age ends up coming with a new installment. All of these things could be happening most likely. But going back to the PS5 and Battlefield 6, we're gonna be seeing a lot more things for that as well. Now, with the Battle Royale mode already being talked on, we could potentially see, you know, huge levels of destruction. And I'm not talking about Battlefield 4 destruction, we could be talking about destruction unlike anything other. Everything can be destroyed, you know, buildings, you know, what else can I say without sounding too much of a terrorist? Well, I guess skyscrapers can be destroyed as well. If that could happen, that would be amazing. Even if we got destruction the same as Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, I think that would be pretty much great. These are actual games that never fail to disappoint. And if we got graphics, you know, Unreal graphics, 2021 graphics, that would definitely, you know, make the game great. But one thing that they should really consider, and I don't know if they're, you know, planning this at the start or whatever, is esports. Now, esports is pretty much growing. If they can find a way to make this 5v5 in a Battlefield 6, you know, scenario, that would be amazing. Like that would definitely make the community grow, you know, in some way, shape or form. Now we do have, you know, Battlefield esports, but it's not as huge as it's supposed to be honest. It could be a lot bigger. From what I'm seeing, like Rainbow Six Siege actually, you know, worked a lot on its esports scene, and they're doing pretty much great. And if, you know, I definitely think if Warzone can have, you know, esports and, you know, Twitch rivals and etc, we could be getting something for Battlefield 6 as well. Now this totally depends on them, because, you know, we could just be getting up a multiplayer and, you know, maybe a Battle Royale zone that not a lot of people will be interested, especially if you have to pay for it. I definitely expect it to be free. It just really depends on what we're gonna see. I'm guessing there's a lot of, you know, potential abilities in the upcoming year, and we're gonna be only hearing more and more about Battlefield 6. Definitely don't give your hopes up yet. Anyway, this is Fatman, sign out. Peace, guys.